Hello and welcome to the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast, where we're here to support you in taking your singing skills to the next level. I'm your host, Coach Worship, and I'm thrilled to have my co-host Jamie with me.
In this podcast, we'll take you on a 30-day podcast marathon, teaching you everything you need to know about diction for singers. Diction is the art of pronouncing words clearly and expressively, using your voice parts to make sound and speech.
Diction is essential for singers as it helps you share your message, emotions, and style with your audience. Each day, we will explore a different topic related to diction, such as vowels, consonants, syllables, stress, intonation, accent, dialect, and more. We will also give you practical tips and exercises to improve your diction and singing performance.
By the end of this podcast marathon, you will have a better understanding of how your voice works and how to use it effectively. So join us on this exciting journey of learning and singing. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or on any other listening platforms. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast or email us at joinusingschoolofsounds@gmail.com if you have any questions or feedback.
What is the H factor, you may wonder? Well, it's a name we use to describe the way some Yoruba speakers say or do not say the H sound in words that start with vowels or that start with H. So let me give you an example. The word hello, when a Yoruba person wants to say it, they will typically remove the H so it will sound like hello. And the word egg, because it starts with a vowel, they are going to include an H in front of it, so you hear them say egg. So if they come face to face with a sentence like her hair is black, they will say something like he's black. It serves as a great problem for them when they sing. This makes some people confused or not understand what they are singing, especially when they talk to people who speak other languages. Personally, as a singer and a vocal coach, I think the H factor is both a challenge and an opportunity for Yoruba singers. It's a challenge because it affects the clarity and accuracy of the lyrics, and it may also affect the rhythm and melody of the song. But it's an opportunity because it may add some flavor and uniqueness to the song. Also, when we're trying to sing softly or in falsetto, it's not a loud one, and I told you it's not a conventional, it's me that proposed this. I often tell my singers to add an H in front of the vowel to avoid having a glottal attack when you're trying to sound airy. For example, when you're singing a word, let me say a sentence like, okay, instead of saying I love you, I'll often tell them to include that breathiness in front. I love you forever. I love you forever. Instead of having that glottal attack, that I love you. So sometimes I ask them to include, but most times when singers sing and do this H problem, it's usually a great challenge, especially when they are even giving the H something like a glottal attack kind of stuff. So they are doing I will not be silent. The thing is, when you're doing it really airy, it sounds okay because the H sound is usually this airy kind of sound. But when you're doing it like norms, your normal way of singing, you're putting the H and removing H, it sounds funny, it sounds unprofessional, and I know people want to say, it's a sign to show my cultural heritage. Let me tell you something I've learned about singing. When you do things intentionally, deliberately, it comes out well and beautiful, and people just say, wow. When you do things because you do not have control over them, it just becomes something repulsive and repugnant. There are a lot of ways I teach my students how to deal with this H factor problem. And one of it is mindfulness. You have to be mindful about the way you sing. You don't just open your mouth now and sing. Okay, I think the first thing you should do is acknowledge that you have this problem. Know it. Begin to listen and say, okay, I actually put H where I'm not supposed to put H. I actually removed the H where I'm supposed to put H. Because one of the greatest challenges is students not being able to know that they have this problem. So I tell them, say this word with me, humble, and they will say humble. And I'll tell them, you said humble, not humble. And they're like, no, we are saying the same thing. If you're still in that phase, then I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do, because at this point, you wouldn't know what to do. So the first thing is to understand and begin to take note. Serious mindfulness. I have this problem and I need to fix it. Let's talk about tongue twisters, okay? How we can use tongue twisters to fix this problem. Remember mindfulness. Remember acknowledging the fact that you actually have this problem. So, I have some tongue twisters here that has to do with a lot of H. Now we are going to be mindful about how we pronounce this word. Take your time. Don't rush it, okay? Take your time. Listen. Instead of saying, I know some of you will be like, how many, this is a typical Yoruba person saying this tongue twister. How many ends have Ari and Henry haunted in the haunted house? Guys, did that even make sense? Now, being mindful. When you need to pronounce the H sound is an aspirate sound. When you need to pronounce it, it comes with a blast of air. So you're like, so include this now. Instead of saying, ow. How many hands have Harry? Then this is and. You have to come with a glottal attack. And then you go back with your aspirate sound. Henry. Haunted. In, not hin. Okay? I'm being very mindful. I told you this will take a lot of time and patience. I'm being very mindful here. In. Another glottal. In. Not aspirate. Hin. No. In. The haunted. Remember, aspirate. Haunted. Then it's not house. It is house. Aspirate sound. Okay, I think I need to talk about onset, and we'll come back and do these tongue twisters. Now, onset is simply the way you begin the phonation of a sound, or you begin the enunciation of a sound, or you begin sounding a sound. I don't know what other term to use to get you to understand this concept. Okay, so there are different ways we phonate. There are different onsets depending on whatever approach you want to do. There's the glottal attack, there's flow phonation, and there's also aspirate phonation. Aspirate phonation is the one I've been talking about since the breathy one. Okay, when you're singing something like in the okay, no, that example will not work. Let's try something else. Okay, let me just sing with this my examples here. Okay, the one that we used before. Okay, and I will worship you. Okay, now let's do this. Instead of doing and I, because you want to be very breathy, it's going to sound like and I will worship you forever, love you forever, because this God, you're too good. I will. A very silent H. It's not even so pronounced. Some people will still even go and overly pronounce it, but it is not really so pronounced, okay? So for the onset, we're going to talk about the glottal attack and the aspirate, because that's what we're going to be dealing with mostly. So for the glottal attack, your vocal cords are coming really close together. So all the sound, all the air that is coming is being utilized to vibrate by your vocal cords. While for the aspirate, the vocal cords are not coming completely close together. So some air escapes and causes more air and lesser sound. So for the aspirate, I want you to do something like ha. That's where you are free to use your H sound. Ha 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 ha. How I love, how I love calling your name. How I love. Okay, so you can how we love your name. How we love your name. Now for the glottal attack, where we're going to need to help us to voice vowels without putting H in front of it. There are many ways we can do this. You can do this by introducing a vocal fry in front of that vowel. So a vocal fry sounds like this. I'm sure you did it when you were a kid. Sound. So let's include it in front of a vowel. Let's say of a word like apple. I want to sing something like apple of his eyes. I'm like, okay. I'm the apple. I'm the apple of his eyes. I'm the thought that fills his heart. Remember, aspirate heart every morning, noon, and night. See, this, like I told you, the main stronghold here is mindfulness. The moment you become mindful, you have begun your journey to eliminating this mountain called the H factor in front of you. Another way to introduce this glottal attack is to do this exercise with me. So do this. Don't do he. I hope you can hear the difference. It's not he. It is this really edgy sound. So okay, this really edgy sound. So do that. You can practice it with all vowels and start being mindful when you sing. I'm going to stop here today. Our time is already up. We'll continue this in class.
And that brings us to the end of another amazing and beautiful and also insightful episode here on the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast. I mean, if you've been with us from the very first day up till today, congratulations. I just want to say a very big well done to you. It shows how consistent and dedicated and hardworking you are. I mean, if I had money, I could do give you away, but country hard though. Be that as it may. Do not forget to follow us on Spotify and on every other listening platform. Also, feel free to send us a message. Our WhatsApp number is in the description box below. Feel free to leave a comment. Also, do not forget to like and also share. Share to as many people as you know would be interested in listening to these impactful episodes too. What else? Our quote for the day is life is one grand sweet song, so start the music by Ronald Reagan. Yes, start the music wherever you are and don't be surprised when people catch up with you. Our song for today is Unstoppable God by Sanctus Real. Connect with us on Twitter at the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast, or you could send us an email at joiningtheschoolofsounds@gmail.com if you're interested in joining our community. Once again, congratulations and well done for getting to the 8th day. On the 10th day, I have something special for you. If you believe me, you're on your own. You're truly on your own. Anyways, I remain your amazing and humble and beautiful co-host Jamie, and from Coach Worship and every other coach that has put their heads together to bring you this insightful episode, it's bye for now. We'll catch you tomorrow same time here on Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast. Bye! I can't wait.